What's up, y'all? My name's Tim Ream. I'm here today on the 67th day of 75 hard. We're gonna be doing back, and then I'll put calves at the end of the workout. It's also the 67th day of spring cut. I'm not gonna stop at 75 days. Whenever the 75 hard program's over, I'm gonna keep going just to get my body more, dialed in the way I want it to be. Anyways, that being said, we're just going to get right into it. I'm going to start over here with just basically a cable pullover to get the lats pre-exhausted before we start to go into most of those heavy, movements for lats like pull downs, all that shit. So, that being said, let's fucking go.
Felt like a cry for attention. I am doing this for myself, but I'm also trying to build a following that will support them.
We have to be very careful not to take society's judgments and criticisms at whatever point we're on, because most of those people are not on the same path as you, and they're not gonna be. And of course those people are gonna judge you, because when they judge you, they're trying to affirm that they made the right choice and you made the wrong choice. When they see you going out and trying to become something, build something, create things, live a more profitable, bigger, quote-unquote, fruitful life, more successful life, they will judge you automatically because they've chosen differently. So people like to be right. People will ride being right into the dirt. So you have to be smart not to fall into that. Like these people who are telling you that you take it too serious, you're too intense, you're too into what you do, those people are always going to say that to you. And then whenever their life is in shambles, when they're 40-something years old, and they don't have to show for it, you know what they're going to say? They're going to say, well, at least I lived some life.
Usually feel like I'm a little more mentally prepared for workouts whenever they come up. Had some stuff going on before this, so kind of had to get myself geared up for it pretty quick. But kind of helps like just running through the actual workout before you come in here, like what kind of progression from what workout or exercise to the next to the next to the next am I do. Just kind of get it in your head before you come in here. Back's kind of been one of those things for about the last 6 months or so where I've really enjoyed coming in and working out and just really taking it really, really hard. So, not every day is going to be just like fucking gun-ho and ready to fucking go, but today, still going to give it my max effort and drive it home the best I can. A lot of times it's just getting in the motion, really, just getting started, and you'll get into it. So
let's get into it.
Also, July 4th, so there'll be some fireworks tonight.
I'm 22 years old, trying to document.
Try to track down some ladies. All right, let's get another warm-up set here.
I was saying how they wish they would have documented the hard and the good. But every time I make a video of the hard, I feel like I'm projecting onto others, and I get sympathy messages from people. I get sympathy and pity. It's part of the reason why I didn't document any of my 75 hard, because those 3 a.m. running videos felt like a cry for attention. I am doing this for myself, but I'm also trying to build a following that will support me through all of my future endeavors and can see my growth. How do you recommend I get around this? What's your thoughts on this?
You just got to do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to document it.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
It is, and how people feel about it and how it makes you feel is what it is. There's millions and millions and millions and millions of people playing the internet game. Why not you? You see what I'm saying? You deserve to have a brand. You deserve to play the game as long as you do play the game. And the reality of it is, I understand what you're saying. I say things, I try to keep it pretty transparent with everybody.
It's actually kind of badass because there's like a little bitty theme park. It's like mainly a water park. It's like mini golf and all this shit, but it's mainly like a water park. And that's where some of the fireworks are going to be at tonight. So probably go strolling up in there, see what's up. It's and it's going to be at nighttime too, and it's usually like the park closes at it doesn't usually go into the dark, so basically it's going to be kind of a setting that's usually the hours aren't open for, so that'll be cool. See some women there, like fuck yeah.
Our own positioning on the topic, we don't want sympathy, we don't want extra attention. but we're also trying to show the journey so that other people will see what it looks like. And then when it comes in, it makes us feel a little weird. Like, dude, people just care, man. They're trying to be supportive and they're trying to be cool. You know, the truth of the matter is people are a lot cooler than what you think. You know, you think they are. You know, most people are good people. Most people want to support. Most people recognize that you're out here trying to start something new, do something cool. And they just want to give you a little word of encouragement, bro. Just like you want to give them a word of encouragement. So
It's exactly what you're asking for.
yeah, and so like, dude, just let it go. You know, get over that part.
Alright.
Keep going and sharing it.
Let me drive this next set home to failure.
You're not going to know is that there's going to be a lot of people who are inspired by that who are going to come back years and years and years from now and say,
Get my head in the game here.
I did this, or because of you showing this, I did that. You know, that's one of the biggest things from the MFCEO project that I'm grateful for, is that there's so many people who hit me up now, you know, 10 years later, basically, and say, God, dude, you know, when I was listening to you on that, you know, it made me inspired to start this. Now I have this business, and I've got this many employees, I'm doing this, I live in this kind of, like, bro, that's incredibly cool. And that would not have come from the fact of, that would have come around had I not shared the journey, you know? So I think it's important for people like you. And also you should recognize the opportunity because you're one of the first people in the world ever that's able to document their journey from the beginning. And you're gonna be glad you did when you start getting somewhere and you go back and say, see, you know what I did. You know, one of the cool things, you know, one of my favorite content creators that I consume who's younger than me is Matt Graham. Not Matt Graham, he's been on the show a couple times. But one of the coolest things is that he documented when he was like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, he has these videos. And it's really cool, like going back, like when he posts them, and you can see like what he was trying to do and where he comes from.
Before the testosterone guy.
Yeah, but the cool thing about Matt is that he's so good at the way he presents information, and he's so strong. And people look at him and like, God, how's that guy deliver? Well, he's been doing it since he was 14. You know what I'm saying? So I think that stuff's super cool, and I think you might be reading into it a little bit too much because it's you. Like, we're always our own harshest critic. But I would highly encourage people do stuff in and they're not giving
How's
you
it?
and they're encouraging you. They think it's cool. You know, getting out there, doing what you've done, a young person out here hustling, grinding, that's inspiring. It's inspiring because, you know, I look around and I see a lot of complacency and a lot of laziness and a lot of bullshit in the younger generations. And so when people like you are showing that you're actually out there trying really hard, that gives me hope. It makes me keep going. It makes me say, dude, all right, what I'm doing, it matters. And I know that's true for Ed and Alex too, because we all talk about this. So just you guys probably don't even realize that like you guys getting out documenting your messages and documenting what you do actually helps inspire us as well. It helps us keep going because there's a lot of times where we're trying to make all this content, and even though we get a lot of views and credit and things like that, we still wonder, well, does this really matter? Are people really listening? Like, are people really doing? And so people like you are the reason that we do this. So, dude, of course, show it, and you know, keep going, man. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, he's young, man. 22.
Yeah.
Guys, Andy, question number 2. Hey, Andy, I'm 24. And 3 years into my landscaping business, and I've been doing great. The business is growing, and I found a way to be very active in the winter months, which a lot of others in my niche just take off. Saying this to say, I have been approached by 3 other business owners, and they all want me to consider the possibility of merging in a partnership. Like I have to choose one of them to merge with. Outside of the obvious things like the books, the financials, and the basics, when it comes to choosing the best partner, what are some things that I should look for? I know I'm young, they know I'm young, but I don't go head over heels for the sweet talk and razzle dazzle. I just don't want to be blindsided.
You don't know shit yet, bro. What the fuck are you offering? Okay? Like, don't be real with you. Alright? You're 24 years old. You don't know a goddamn thing. Alright? So unless you have a whole list of everything that you bring to the table, you should be worried about what you bring to the table, not what they bring to the table. I mean, you came to me with that attitude, I take it out of here. Be real. Okay? So you don't want to be blindsided or fall for the sweet talk. No one's sweet talking you. You're sweet talking them. Let's just be real. Okay? And also, when it comes to forming a business, let me give you the golden rule of forming a business. Number 1, you shouldn't be partners with anybody who doesn't bring something that you don't have. Okay? A lot of you guys go out and try to build these businesses with your friends because you want to just be friends in business. That's not an effective partnership. You also go out and partner with someone who wants to be the CEO and you want to be the CEO, wants to be the face and you want to be the face. And you guys partner for all the same reasons, all right, and for the wrong ones. Here's the deal when it comes to being a partner. What do I bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? Are those things complementary? Sometimes you bring the talent, the knowledge, the voice, and then other people bring the back end and the money, and you're able to put that together and work together. But the problem is people don't look at it like that up front. They look at it like it's going to be this fun, exciting, amazing journey that is just going to be good all the time, and they end up partnering with the wrong people who compete over attention, who compete over the credit, who are doing it for the wrong reasons, and that's why you hear this thing, don't ever be partners with somebody that you're friends with. I don't know, I'm partners with my best friend in the whole world, and my brother, and I mean, whoops, yeah, because you know why? Because they're skilled in things that I'm not skilled at, and they all work together. So like, you know, but dude, this thing of like what you're saying about, I don't want to be sweet talk, bro, you need to learn to speak a little bit differently, because if I would just tell you, I don't want to deal with that ego. I don't want to deal with, you're 24, you haven't done shit. What have you done? What's it say he's done?
He said he found a niche. He found a way to be very active in the winter months.
Oh, really?
Everybody else takes.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
It sounds super amazing. You're the first person ever to figure something out and do in the winter. Like, you're not even telling me what the f you do, man. You know what I'm saying? What is I don't understand. I don't understand the real question.
Yeah, just like, I mean, he understands he should be like, you know, asking about the books, because he's been approached by 3 other businesses, I guess landscaping businesses.
Okay.
And he's just saying, like, outside of the books or financials and the fundamental things to like talk about and discuss, what should we be looking for in the partner?
Someone who can do the shit that you can't do very well. Someone who can bring the resources that you don't have. Someone who can execute on things that you're not good at. And you should partner with them. They're like walking around thinking that you got the keys to the castle, where you ain't the first one to figure out something to do in the winter. I promise you that. Go talk to Ricky. Yeah, right. My guy. He's the best landscaper that I know. Okay? So, yeah, I ain't gonna Hey, listen, when you guys submit questions, submit some detailed questions, man. I'll help you. I'll give you the right answer. But you just telling me some in summary bullshit, I'm not going to help you or anybody else. Make the questions as detailed as possible. If we have to edit them down, we'll edit them down. But the reality is I can't help you if you don't tell me what you do. Okay? To me, I'm going to tell you this.
I ain't talking much. I want to get focused.
I get frustrated because I get asked this shit.
Make sure I'm giving this
no offense to you.
workout my all. So
I get asked this all the
time. Get my head in the game a little bit, and then I'll maybe start breaking some stuff down. Sharing my thoughts on some things.
Everybody thinks.
Kind of listen to this too.
Everybody thinks they have a skill set nobody has.
Did go up.
Everybody thinks that they have
1 rep in this
no one else can do.
last movement.
That isn't true. You're one of a gazillion motherfuckers that can do what the
Go to pull down with just like a close grip bar that you would use just for rows. I don't even know what it's called.
Look at their list with the same scrutiny that you look at your list. All right? What do they
Doesn't really matter. I know what it does.
Maybe they bring the money. Maybe you don't have any money for equipment. Maybe they bring money for equipment. But that doesn't mean.
At this point, I am going to start moving into my maxes.
They brought the money, but you get the,
Just into the 1 set to failure.
Doing the work. That's not the way a partnership works. This dude brings the money.
With the rest of the pull downs, then once I get to rows, I'm going to hit several warm up sets. Probably at least 2 or 3, and then get into heavy sets with rows.
Most of them are stuck because people are idealists in the beginning. In the beginning of a relationship, it's always the easiest. It's always easy in the beginning to say, man, we're going to conquer the world. We're going to do, bro, when I opened Selfless Superstores back in 1999, I thought we would be like on boats and hoes in like 6 months, bro. Like, I thought I'd be driving a Lamborghini in 6 months. And I was without internet. Yeah. And you know what? You know what happened between the time that I actually got a Lamborghini, which was 12 years in? A lot of shit. It was hard. I got my ass beat, and so did Chris. And the good thing is that Chris had skills that I didn't have, and I had skills that he didn't have. And that's what created an effective partnership. And then, when we started this one, we brought in Sal. Sal had skills that neither one of us had. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't just say, hey, man, I like you. Let's be partners. This is going to be fun. Because I promise you, bro, it ain't going to be fun. It's going to be much harder than you possibly imagine. It's going to take much longer than you can possibly comprehend. And each partner you partner with have to bring in skills that you don't have. Otherwise, you're going to get beat by people who do have that. Like if you have, like let's say we have a quarterback, all right, and then we got another quarterback, and then we got another quarterback, which is usually the case when it comes to starting a small business. Everybody wants to be the CEO. Everybody wants to be the man. Bro, being the CEO ain't fun. It sucks, okay? Because you get beat for everybody else's stupid motherfucking decisions. And you guys all want that role, but you only want it because you want the like, shares, the recognition for it, when in reality, bro, it's the most brutal role you can have. I would much rather, in hindsight, have taken the role of back-end dude than in Facebook. Much rather have that.
Chris has a good time.
You know what? Like Chris is good at what he does. Sal's great at what he does. Everybody brings their fucking value. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the point is when people are young, they try to start these little organizations, these businesses for the reason of being cool and having credit and having a title and having a name on a business card. Dude, that's not playing business. You know what happens to people who play business? They get their ass beat by people who are actually doing business, who don't worry about things like title and don't worry about things like credit and worry more so about kicking ass and putting out the best product. That's the point. So when you decide who you're going to be partners with and who you're going to stick to, you have to look at it. What does this person bring that I can't do? And if they can't bring anything that you can't already do, then you shouldn't partner with them, no matter how much you like it. Partnership should be a true blending strategic, tactical advantages. Not, hey man, we're just going to do this and split it. Like that's not how, that'll never work. Because what will end up happening is, as the company grows, if you're lucky enough for it to have it grow, you'll be competing with this other person over the credit. I don't give a fuck about the credit. I think everybody in this room and in this building knows that. Now, do I get a lot of the credit? I do. But the truth of the matter is, I don't care. It's actually them. Those guys do all the work. I do the organization and the steering of the ship. I'm in the bucket at the top of the Titanic saying, steer left so we don't hit that guy. Okay, that's my job at this point in time. And dude, I don't care about the awards and the accolades or any of that shit. And I think that's what actually has made me and made our organizations, all of them, successful, because there's no real thirst or hunger for the credit. Like my brother doesn't give. Chris doesn't give. I don't give. We were just trying to win. And we use our skill sets together to do that.
Yeah, I'm like reading this question. I'm wondering, like, do you think maybe he's saying that in the sense of like because he is so young, that he doesn't get taken advantage of by other sharks in the
Well,
door?
how do you think you're gonna get taken advantage of when you don't have shit?
Yeah. Mm.
That's my point. You think you got shit. You don't have shit yet, bro. So how are you gonna be taken advantage of if you didn't bring nothing to the table? That's my point. Dude, there's this, listen, dude, there is a problem with ego with the younger generation of operators. These guys think they're much better, and by the way, so did I. So I'll give you that. When I was 24, I thought I was the shit. I walked around like I had a 20-foot dick, and I knew all this shit, and I could kick everybody's ass in business, and you know what? I was an idiot. So I'll give you that. I was the same way. That's how I know you're lying. All right? So stop overestimating your own skills. Be honest. Build your skill set and match it with someone who doesn't complement your skill set. Yeah.
Well, that's 80 questions. I'm 26 years old. My man.
We went from 20.
Tried a little variation.
We're at the ladder here.
Kind of been staying away from it. Usually I do it from the side, but I've been doing it because the pulley on the top of this machine, if you put it in too much of a bind, it just ain't gonna go, right? So I've been wanting to do one facing. I didn't know if this machine would allow me to do it without pulley, but it did, so it's pretty good variation. Definitely get a really far stretch at the end, and then into a good contracted position at the end. So, say all around, I don't like, once I find an exercise that works, I don't like taking it out of the routine to try another one that I don't know will work, but this is a good trade-off. I feel like I still got out of it what I needed to get out of it, so I lucked out on this one. Seen somebody else doing it, one of the guys I subscribe to. He's got a fitness channel too. His name's Rocky Era is his YouTube channel, so you guys go check him out. But that was a good variation. All right, we can go into rows. Probably 2 or 3 warm-up sets, just because it's a new motion. And I'm gonna try to kind of pause at the end of the motion, play around with it a little bit during those warm-up sets to see if there's a variation, leaning back or holding or something that I could be maybe adding to that movement, just so I make sure I'm not leaving any gains on the table. So get right into it here. Set this weight up in this stack. God damn, I got fucking straps on my arms, and my forearms are still fucking burning.
What I have to tell you is that it is going to be random, and it is going to be frustrating, and you are going to feel like an outcast.
I'm moving pretty quickly in between one exercise to the next, so that's definitely a factor.
The rare person is the one that builds greatness, all right? If everybody else thought like you, it wouldn't be rare, okay? So
this is one of my favorite movements.
First of all, talk about gains.
It's like one of those ones that I just always look forward to whenever I come in here to do. Is the seated rows.
Probably in your mid-30s. All right, that's reality. Because when women are young, they will date older men who are making more money, who are doing, things with their life, and they're going to shit on you. And that's the reality of being a young, ambitious man. You're probably thinking, I did, hey, when are you gonna get serious? This is a pipe dream. This is never gonna work out. When are you gonna start taking your life serious and get your shit together and all this shit? And you're gonna have women tell you that, who are trying to chase older men who are in their 30s who have a little bit more life underneath their belt, right? And what you don't want to have happen, and let's say you shouldn't date, but what you don't want to have happen is you to get locked up with some woman who is less than your potential because you did it when you didn't have shit and you were broke and you were struggling and you just took what you could get because you didn't want to be alone. All right, so that's something to think about. I'm not going to sit here and say you should do this or should do that, but I will tell you this: when you have a little bit more momentum going, and you have a little bit more going for your life, and you're doing a little bit better in your life, you're going to get a better selection of potential partners in a relationship.
I think there's something to be said for that.
It's important that you know that
pulling it in and resting right there, and trying to flex and kind of get that mind muscle connection in between the part of your back you're trying to work in that movement, squeezing and holding at the end. But I still feel like it doesn't do any justice to where I'm leaning in and the weight is literally just stretching my entire back apart. And for some reason, I've noticed that the stretch on pretty much any movement that I get into, that stretch is what really starts to introduce the burn. Whenever I go into that deep stretch, that's what actually almost like kicks the pump in, and I don't know, I feel like it really, I don't know what I'm trying to say other than I feel like whenever I'm doing the variations and trying to figure out what I think is the most stimulating, I feel like it's just in that fully stretched position and catching the negative back. Sometimes I'll arrive at a conclusion and then for some reason in my head think it's not as efficient. I'll try other things and then I'll wind up coming back to the same movement. It's like, duh. It's like, oh, that's why I arrived at that conclusion. Whatever, that's life, I guess. I don't know. All right. Just kind of pre-exhausting with that movement there. Get the lats in the center of the back firing. Do at least one more warm-up set here. Drive this one not too failure, but pretty close in the exhaustion stage. take a good little break.
You know what I mean? But here's the cool
And then fucking go into my heaviest shit that I can.
Back then, you got something to show for it. The other way around, you don't have nothing to show for it. So that's how I've always looked at it. And yes, I'll be real. Like there's things that I look at when I examine my life and I say,
Yeah, like right there, that stretch
I wish
position.
I would have done a little bit more.
It's like that's whenever all the muscles actually become active because they're getting called on
the same place where I'm at.
to move and activate.
But also, I get satisfaction out of doing what I do. I like what I do, and I do feel like I'm wasting time when I'm not doing it. And I can totally relate to someone with that mentality. And I think that you have to be very careful not to take society's judgments and criticisms at whatever point we're on, because most of those people are not on the same path as you, and they're not gonna be. And of course those people are gonna judge you because
Oh yeah, buddy.
they're trying to affirm that they made the right choice and you made the wrong choice. When they see you going out and trying to become something, build something, create
Do one more warm-up set.
profitable,
Just kind of drive the nail in and then fucking hit it on the head,
more successful
just for good measure.
they will judge you automatically because they have chosen differently. So people like to be right. Look at the politics in the world. People are literally arguing.
And plus,
what's going on,
I mean, I've got,
watching the
I don't even know what,
dismantle this country because they wanted to
cable
be
pull
right.
over,
Donald Trump.
close grip,
And, people
palms up, pull down, close grip, pull down, and then single
smart not to
lat pull down. So I've got 4 exercises in there for lats, whereas I've only got 2 exercises in here for rows, and that center of the back to build that thickness. So kind of those are the best movements I've settled on, the 2 that I'm gonna do here for rows. And so I probably just should pump up some extra volume a little bit in those sets just to make sure, it's not so lopsided and uneven in between the lat and width and then thickness too. Just me thinking out loud. Might not even be anything to it. It's just more of a mental thing, I think, maybe. I don't know.
For an exceptional life later. And then people will like to say stuff.
I definitely
Well, what happens if you get sick and die? Well, then you get sick
would
and
rather
die.
do 4 different movements
What do you think Kobe Bryant
with
said?
1 set to failure in each,
If you called him up and
rather
told him,
than,
"Hey, Kobe."
1 or 2 movements with 2 or 3 different sets to failure in
I
each.
did everything I could.
Because if you got more movements, then I'm hitting it from different angles with more activation with different stuff. I feel like I'm throwing more at my body at that point. So, I do think that's actually more effective. I have settled on that. But all right, we'll get into this last warm-up set and then go into our heavy set to failure.
People are on a different path than you. And you have to do what's best for you. And I would do it with intensity because I'll be real with you. All the things that this person asked, those are all things I felt the whole entire time, every single time. So I think we have a lot of the markings of someone who will be obsessively great at what they do. And people are going to judge you for that, man. And I get judged constantly. And just look at some of the comments and some of the videos that are posted about me on the internet. People posting short form. This guy's crazy. This guy got mental health problems. No,
Alright.
I have the problems that you wish you had. And that's why you're talking that shit. You see what I'm saying? So, it's, sounds like some unhealed trauma. Yeah, I got some unhealed trauma with a big ass fat wallet right here, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I'm just saying, everybody wants to knock for everything big. Like, at least if you're dedicated, you walk out with a prize. You don't walk out with a life that's in shambles. This idea of a perfect...
We're all be done with this
perfect happiness.
at about the 35-minute mark.
Perfect balance.
Have about 10 to 15 minutes to do
You gotta pick and choose
calves. Work out pretty good.
And we shouldn't judge each other.
That's for a pretty brief but hard, stimulating fucking workout for about 45 to 50 minutes. And with my philosophy, the philosophy of high intensity, I've got from like Mike Mincer, Dorian Yates. That's all you need, man, and I've found that to be fucking true.
I mean, look, man.
More volume doesn't equate to quantity. Actually, it's less volume with, all out reps and squeeze and contraction really focused is quality. So once you do quality exercises with the best form, to failure, and they're the most stimulating exercises, then you'd be surprised at what kind of quantity you can actually drop out of your routine. Alright, heavy sets of failure, all out, fucking balls to the wall on this shit.
Bro, just say, hey man, it didn't go the way I wanted, but now I'm doing the best I can. You see what I'm saying?
Fool us if they're shit.
Yeah, bro, I hate that shit. That's where all these moral warriors on the internet come from. Their life sucks. They can't afford shit. They live in a shitty house. They got a shitty partner. They drive a shitty car. They go to a job they hate, and then they pretend like this is what they wanted.
Alright.
You man, you think I'm stupid? And then they get on the internet and say all kinds of ignorant shit about anybody who's doing it. I mean, dude, read anybody successful on the internet and read the comments. Read about all these losers trying to get it, but, you know, I bet it's blah, 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 blah. You don't know anything. You're just talking shit because they got something you ain't got. Yeah, you chose it, dude, and that's okay. I don't care. That's what you chose. But like, don't sit here and try to villainize everybody who's not even doing something because they don't have the life that you have because you don't really have it. You know, you could change it today.
Warm-up sets were too much.
You would just get out of that victim mentality.
I can feel it, but too much.
You know what I'm talking about? This moral warrior culture that exists on the internet that judges every single person that does.
Now that I'm kind of thinking about it,
outside of the norm.
I don't know if you guys have ever had this happen, and I think I know what it is. But whenever you're in your workout and you feel good and pumped, and it seems like just from one set to the next, you didn't take any longer on the rest in between sets or anything, but it's just like you go flat, you lose the pump. And I think what that is the glycogen stores in your muscle. And right now running on a calorie deficit, I feel like that's actually more prevalent. And that's what I think it is. It's the carbohydrates in your body and the glycogen. Once they're done, they're fucking done. It's like the gas in your tank. No matter how much wishful thinking, oh, I'll be alright. Well, when those stores are out, they're out. So I think if you guys have ever experienced that, I think that's what it is. I could be totally wrong, but it makes sense to me because that's basically the fuel source for your muscles. And I only eat one meal a day at the end of the day. So, I mean, it makes sense that I'm kind of running on an empty tank to begin with before I ever get in here. So, and I don't like eating food early in the morning. I feel like it just kind of messes me up for the day. You know, I'd rather just fast all day and then eat one good meal at night.
My point is that, bro, it's
all right.
You know what I'm saying? It's humility really easy.
Not gonna go super heavy on this. I'm not really going heavy at all on it. This is I want to kind of maybe make up for anything I lost on the two-handed rows. I'm just going to drive home singles for as many as I can possibly get. Good stretch and good contract at the end.
That the reason you are where you are is because you took certain actions, not because you're gifted or you're great or you're better than them. Right? So most people don't even understand the true thinking of what humble really means. But then they try to weaponize it on the internet. Oh, you're successful, so you're not humble. Yeah, you're right, man. God. Whatever you said. You know, you're even at the end of money, safe. You know? Other leaders, bro. I'm just being real, man. I love it. Dude, we should start a segment. You know how we have cruise the comments in CTI?
You go cruise the...
No. We'll go find the... You're going to do this, Zishan. We're going to go find the asshole comments on the success... and we're going to put them on the internet right here, and we're going to tear them up. Yeah. So we're going to find all the little humble warriors, and then we're going to put them on the screen, and we're going to make fun of them.
I'm down with that.
Yeah. So call them out for their bullshit. I'm so tired of it, dude. It's so discouraging. Like, to me, like, these are 3 young people we answered on this
all trying to win.
They're all trying to win, all trying to create greatness. Everybody they know in their life's trying to create it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that's like, and you wonder why people don't win. You know, it's because they don't root for them.
Pads in the bucket, bro.
What's that?
Sound like Arnold on that last one.
Like, we should be urging young people to win. What is it? Episode 59 of Real AF. Go listen to that shit. For real. Stop right now, because the show is over, and go listen to episode 59. Alright? Peace out. We're talking about basic. We're talking about putting certain things in your mouth and not putting other certain things in your mouth. We're talking about moving your body a couple hours a day. We're talking about putting some good information in your brain. Like, it's just really easy stuff that will build your life into a tremendously beneficial and fulfilling and quite frankly an existence that you're proud of, that we stick out on a daily basis, and the price that we pay is immense. It's massive, because it costs us everything. It costs us the whole quality of life. People need to understand that if you could just adjust a few things about yourself, you can have everything you want. Because once you get to that place where things are comfortable when you're uncomfortable, that's the thing. You're not feeling any pain when you're really doing the thing, and you're still getting all the benefits.
All right.
So the only way to really
Switch the camera angle over to calves, and I'll be right back with you. So at this point, I'm about anywhere from probably 8 to 12, maybe 15 sets to failure. Probably more like 8 to 12 for a week, dude. That's probably spread out over 3 days if I'm lucky, if I get to them. But for sure 2 days, hit about 8, probably 6 to 8 sets to failure, probably more like 8. I don't fucking know. 7 to 10 probably is more accurate. Just kind of depends on what I'm feeling like that day and how much stimulus I feel like I induced on some of the sets before I lead up into that set to failure.
So yeah, don't be a hoe. Shit, show. All right. Hey, what's up, man? What's going on? Oh, not much. Yeah. What's up with you?
Cracking open that bougie success water.
That's right.
You say bougie?
Bougie.
Oh, bougie.
Yeah, bougie.
Basically, I'll do 2 warm-up sets on this and 1 set all out to failure. Those 2 warm-ups are going to basically be good pre-exhaustive sets though.
Yep,
And then 2 sets on seated, to failure. So I mean totally, that's 3 technically 3 sets to failure, and I might do that 3 times a week, maybe just twice. So let's fucking get into it.
Half the day of Wednesday, this is going to start again on Monday. I deserve it. Then they're going to spend the next 5 or 6 or 20 years doing that, and then they're going to look back and they're going to say, "Man, I wish I hadn't done that." Yeah, because it's going to cost them everything. They don't realize.
I think most people's thing. I mean, tell me if you agree with this, but I feel like most people, they just don't. They have to understand, like, the momentum is created, right? They just don't give it enough time for the momentum to like get going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you got
days away from like massive momentum.
It's not even that, dude. It's the idea. The instant gratification mentality is so prevalent in our society that people get frustrated when they have to like do anything that is even minorly inconvenient. And they seek comfort.
Oh yeah.
Look for the easy
good warm-up set.
They look for the way that's going to be the most convenient right now, and totally disregard what the cost of that is. They don't think like, oh man, if I do this now, it's going to cost me this later. And most people live their lives that way. They live very unsatisfied, unfulfilling, frustrating existences because they never realize that, every single time you choose the easy path now, you have to pay that later with a harder price. And once you start to understand that that's reality.
And my plan is, I've been talking about this, but
and the idea, I talked about this a little bit on
you tend to talk about things you're thinking about. What I've been thinking about and planning on really getting scientific with it and breaking down how I've arrived at how many sets I do, why, and really put a really big emphasis on my training journal whenever I get out of the cut phase and go back into the bulking phase, and show you guys why I structure the things in the way that I do, and just it's going to be good, dude, because I'm actually going to get a more precise understanding on the way my body works too, And if it's just gonna be straight, cold, hard data. If I do 2 sets to failure and it doesn't fucking work and I come back in here stronger, then I've got to drop sets or give it 1 more extra day. And I'm literally just gonna get fine-tuned as fuck until I find exactly what works and then just fucking drive that shit home. So I plan on getting really scientific with it. A lot of data intake and logging a bunch of shit. So it'll be fucking good. It'll be cool. Let's get into this set here.
We're talking about moving your body a couple hours a day. We're talking about putting some good information in your brain. This shit ain't that hard. Like, it's just really easy stuff that will build your life into a tremendously beneficial and fulfilling and quite frankly, an existence that you're proud of, that we skip out on a daily basis, and then the price that we pay is immense. It's massive, because it costs us everything. It costs us the whole quality of life, you know, and that's the point of the Live Hard program, 75 Hard. That's why I wrote 75 Hard. That's why I wrote the book on mental toughness, because people need to understand that if you could just adjust a few things about yourself, you can have everything you want. There becomes no trade-off now. Now there's no trade, because once you get to that place where things are comfortable when you're uncomfortable, what's the trade? You're not feeling any pain when you're really doing the thing, and you're still getting all the benefits. So the only way to really win and not have to do that thing where you have to pay the price now or pay the price later is to get so comfortable with the hard path that you don't notice it being uncomfortable. And then you win all the time. You accept that that's what, bro. And we're talking. Listen, bro. We're talking about this.
Right.
We're talking. Stop putting shit in your mouth. Start moving. Read some books.
All right.
Drink some water. Lift some weights. This is basic shit, man. And most people are so. And by the way, this is no judgment, because I was that person. Okay, but most people are so far outside of the ability to just do those simple things, they see them as painful, not realizing what it actually gains you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
you think 15, 20 years down the line,
bro,
you're going to be having to pay hospital bills.
Bro, if you're 100 pounds overweight right now, where are you going to be in 20 years?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're in your 20s, dude, and you're 100 pounds, you're going to be 300 pounds overweight by the time you're 40. Are you ready for that life? Are you ready to walk through life like having to ride the car and shit? Are you ready not being able to sit in a chair? Are you ready to like be looked at, knocked at, and feel real? Because everybody is looking at you because you're 4 times the size of an other human being. Like, that's a whole other thing. This fat acceptance shit where these people think that they go to the airport with 2 seats because they can't stop themselves from gorging their
Fucking my head on that one.
Yeah, and then we got to deal, and then like when we notice that they're the size of 5 human beings, and we notice it, we're some sort of bigot. Well, I know what it's like to be fat. All you fat motherfuckers, I know. I was fat too. Okay, and I can tell you this: all those lies you tell about, you know, oh, I love myself, dude, you're a liar. The only people that believe that are people who have never experienced being fat. There's the
Cold hard truth right here.
Virtue signaling bruncher moms who have
Been
a
there.
wealthy husband and drive the BMW. They might believe your shit.
Thinking about it. Whenever I was big, the lies that I had to tell myself that it was okay, oh, this amount of food, oh, I don't look bad, oh, this will be okay, it ain't really hurting me. Like the lies and delusional aspect that I got into, it's fucking bad. Like you're so far off of the actual truth, it's ridiculous. I was thinking about that yesterday.
That's self-love. Self-love is doing the hard things required to
A
build
really distorted, perverted type of mindset.
this idea of
You're destroying your body, and you've had to justify it in your fucking mind to where it's actually okay. It's okay still. It's all right. This ain't doing nothing. Nah, dude. Not good, man. Basically just destroying yourself and trying to make yourself feel better about it at the same time. Alright. Pre-exhaustive, set to failure.
That's for CPI.
Yeah, that's tomorrow's episode.
Yeah, I mean, they want that. They want you to love yourself being 400, 500 pounds, 300 pounds, Because they know that if you're that, you're ineffective in any other area. And you're dependent on that. You're a hyper consumer of food. You're a hyper consumer of likely alcohol. You're a hyper consumer of medication. You're a hyper consumer of digital content, streaming. Okay, you're making these people money in every which way, bro.
We'll put you on magazines.
Yeah, we'll say it's healthy.
The social media verifications you want.
Yeah, we'll give you all of them. Yeah, and I love how these people are trying to pretend like they're a protected class now. Like you can't criticize. You are the way you are because you have gotten enough criticism. Real shit.
From the right people.
Yeah, including yourself.
Real shit, man.
If you really love yourself, you fix that problem.
And what I just said about
You don't ever hear somebody
whenever I was fat, the state of delusion I had to be in,
shit together,
and justification, all the rationalization I had to go through
not one.
just to be comfortable in that state,
Never hear rich people
all the stories I had to tell myself wasn't a knock on big people, because I've been there, I know
That's the internet.
what it's like, you know.
Bro, that's what we're
So, I mean, but this really is something that, unless you reverse that process, I mean, it really ain't going anywhere good. So, you know, I just got to the point where it was like, damn, if I continue on this road for another year, 2 years, where am I going to be at? Yeah, fuck that. And no matter how hard it was to get back in the gym and doing everything I knew I was supposed to be doing, the alternative was way worse. So, just might just take a crossroads for you. I don't know, man, but wasn't saying it to bash on you, but you know, truth is truth. And that's the truth of it. So, I don't know.
So all of these questions in today's Q&A is coming straight from the tube.
Oh, really?
It's hard to hear the truth when you're not living by it,
The tube.
Okay.
but it doesn't change the fact that,
All right.
you know, if you think about it, tornadoes are harsh.
This is the first time we had those?
Nature don't care. There is no concept for harsh in nature. That's a man-made concept. Unless we deal with getting away out of the tornado, getting out of its way,
I know.
we'll be swept away with it.
You better
And nature won't even care, you know. So we live in a ruthless world of cold hard truths, and if you can't accept them, then it's just like
Come on, DJ, go ahead.
you're free to evade truth, but you're not free to evade the consequences that come with avoiding it, you know. So whatever, man, you know. All right, this will be our last set here. Make sure we drive them home with everything we got.
You don't. This is the common misconception of unification. There's going to be people on the outside of the unification. They're called the enemy. Right?
They're not crazy.
No, everybody thinks that unity requires everybody. That's not what unity means. I think we can all agree in society right now, we have 10% of the population, 8 of it's on the far left, and 2 of it's on the far right. It's insane. Okay? And no matter how much common sense people come together, no matter how much, and by the way, we need to. Okay? But 90% of us are together. What the fuck are we going to do? We're not going to get them. This is a big problem with movements and causes and really political.
I had a guy, he was like, try to make less sounds in the comments. I was like, well, buddy, I got news for you. If you're trying to take yourself to absolute failure, you're probably gonna make some sounds, dude. And it's kind of funny because I don't even think you could not make sounds if you was going to absolute failure, but you're trying to tell me to. What the fuck? Okay. Anyways.
They understand that there's good people of every race
That
and bad people of every
people
race. There's good people of every religion and bad people.
Was back in Calves on day 67 of the 75 hard program. Had another guy in the comments say, just because you're in a garage, that doesn't mean it's an outdoor workout. I don't think I ever said that it was an outdoor workout. If you go back and look at my videos, I make clear that this is not considered an outdoor workout. So before you open your mouth and try to give me advice, don't be wrong 100% of the time. Because I just don't take advice from people who are wrong 100% of the time. That's not smart. I do my outdoor workout elsewhere, outdoors, 4 hours later. I've read the book, 75 Hard, and the book on mental toughness. I know exactly what the program consists of. I probably know it better than you. Anyways, that was day 67. I appreciate you guys who are following along with me. I really appreciate it. Please share, like, and subscribe if you like the way that I break down the workouts. And just if you like hanging out with me, whatever.
reality,
for you that don't like it,
there's good people and bad people.
whatever, dude, let's part as friends, man. I'd rather have friends than enemies, so that's kind of my attitude.
You're talking about here.
I'm not going to turn you away. I'm not going to try to be harsh in the comments, even though some of you can be pricks. I'd still rather win you over. And, you know, I want to reach as many people as I can. I'm just trying to help. So I appreciate you guys. And, yeah, that was day 67. I'll see you guys tomorrow for shoulders and abs or shoulders and triceps. So, all right, peace.